Now the next one is transpose of a matrix. So if we have any matrix A, which is M cross N and characterized by Aij, then we write transpose of A as either A transpose or this A dash, and this matrix will be formed by interchanging rows and columns of A. So if we interchange rows and columns, then it will become its transpose matrix. So its order will be N cross M, and element Ij will now become element Ji. Say for example, suppose we have this matrix which is -1, 1, 2, 4, 0, 5. Now if we have to write A transpose, now we'll change rows into columns. So it will be -1, 1, 2, and here will be 4, 0, 5. Order of A was 2 cross 3 and order of A transpose is 3 cross 2. So A11, it is A11. A12 is now A21. A13 is now A31. So this is how Aij, it is changed into Aji, and its order will change from M cross N to N cross M. Now we look at properties of transpose, and properties of transpose are very important. Now properties of transpose say first one is A plus minus B transpose, it is same as A transpose plus or minus B transpose. Now this next one is if we have some scalar k multiplied to A, then k into A transpose, it is same as k into A transpose. So if we have this expression which is 2A minus 3B transpose, we'll simply write this as 2A transpose minus 3B transpose. Now this third one is transpose of A transpose, it is nothing but A. Fourth one is transpose of this product AB. So this AB transpose, it is equal to B transpose into A transpose, and here the order is reverse. So we also call it as reversal law. And this fifth one is nth power of transpose is same as transpose of nth power. So if we have transpose of A square, we can write this as square of A transpose. Now from transpose, we can define two more types of matrices, and they are symmetric matrices and skew symmetric matrices. So if we have a square matrix A, which is n cross n, then if we take its transpose, then if A transpose is equal to A, then we say this matrix is a symmetric matrix. And if A transpose, it is equal to minus A, then we say it is a skew symmetric matrix. So matrix will be a symmetric matrix if after transposing it, matrix remain the same, and it will be a skew symmetric matrix if A transpose is equal to minus of A. Now how do we identify symmetric and non-symmetric matrices? Now in case of a symmetric matrix, all the elements across the diagonal, they'll be same. So these two elements, they'll be same. These two, they'll be same. These two elements, they'll be same. So all the elements across the diagonal, they must be same. Say for example, suppose we have this 1, 2, 3, and then we have this 4, 5, and suppose 6. Now if we look at these diagonal elements, this 4, this 5, and this 6, all of them, they are symmetric across this diagonal. So it is a symmetric matrix. And for skew symmetric matrix, first thing is, since A transpose is equal to minus A, then if we take any element which is of the form AII, then AII transpose is equal to minus AII. Now if we take a transpose of AII, it will again be AII. So from here we can say this AII will be 0. So in case of a skew symmetric matrix, all the diagonal entries, they must be 0. So all these diagonal entries, they'll be 0, and then Aij will be equal to minus Aji. So first is all the diagonal elements, they must be 0, and also across the diagonal, the numbers must be numerically same but of opposite sign. So if we have this 2 here, then it should be minus 2. If it is 1 here, it should be minus 1. So this is how we identify symmetric and skew symmetric matrices. So for symmetric, elements must be symmetric about the diagonal, and for skew symmetric, diagonal elements, all of them, they must be 0, and across the diagonal, they must be numerically same with opposite sign. If we have to find whether any matrix is a symmetric matrix or a skew symmetric matrix, all we need to do is we have to take its transpose. If after taking the transpose, matrix remains the same, we say it is a symmetric matrix. If it becomes minus m, then we say it is skew symmetric, else it is neither symmetric and nor skew symmetric. Say for example, suppose we have to find this 1 by 2 A plus A transpose, it is symmetric or it is skew symmetric. So what we'll do is we'll take its transpose. So we'll write 1 by 2 A plus A transpose transpose. Now K transpose is simply K, so it'll be 1 by 2, and then it'll be A transpose and plus transpose of A transpose is A. So it is 1 by 2 A plus A transpose. That means this M transpose is equal to M. So this matrix is a symmetric matrix. And if we look at this other matrix, which is 1 by 2 A minus A transpose, then transpose of 1 by 2 A minus A transpose will be this 1 by 2, and then it'll be this A transpose minus A transpose of transpose is A. Now if we take minus common, so it'll be 1 by 2 A minus A transpose, which is M transpose is equal to minus M. That means this matrix is a skew symmetric matrix. Now for any square matrix A n cross n, we can write this A as 1 by 2 A plus A transpose plus 1 by 2 A minus A transpose. Now this is a symmetric matrix, and this 1 by 2 A minus A transpose is a skew symmetric matrix. So every square matrix, it can be expressed as a sum of a symmetric matrix and a skew symmetric matrix. Now the next one is conjugate of a matrix. So if we have any matrix A whose elements are Aij M cross n, where Aij they belong to complex number, then conjugate of A is conjugate of each of its element. Say for example, suppose we have this matrix A, which is 2 minus iota, 3 plus 4 iota, minus iota, and 4. Now if we take its conjugate, we can write this as 2 plus iota, 3 minus 4 iota, will be this iota, and conjugate of 4 is simply 4. So for any matrix, we can always write conjugate of a matrix. And if we combine the above two, then we come to something called as transpose conjugate of a matrix. So if we have any matrix A, then if we take its conjugate and we take its transpose, we call it a transpose conjugate of that matrix. Now transpose conjugate, it is generally denoted by this A theta, or in some books it is written as this A star. Now this A star is transposed conjugate of this matrix A. We can take a conjugate and then take a transpose, or we can take a transpose and then we can take this conjugate. Now properties of transposed conjugate is A plus minus B conjugate transpose, it is equal to A conjugate transpose plus minus B conjugate transpose. Second one is K into A conjugate transpose, it is equal to K bar into A conjugate transpose, where this K is a complex scalar. Third one is transpose conjugate of a transpose conjugate is simply equal to A. And fourth one is AB conjugate transpose is equal to B conjugate transpose into A conjugate transpose. And as we have defined for transpose of a matrix, we can define two different matrices here. So if A is a square matrix of order n cross n such that conjugate transpose of A, it is equal to A, then we call this matrix as a Hermitian matrix. And if conjugate transpose of A is equal to minus A, then we say it is skew Hermitian. Now we'll discuss some more type of matrices, and the first one is orthogonal matrix. Now a matrix is said to be an orthogonal matrix if A into A transpose, it is equal to A transpose into A, and if it is equal to an identity matrix. So if we multiply A with its transpose or transpose with A, then if the result is an identity matrix, then we say the matrix is an orthogonal matrix. And here we have one more result, in which is if A and B, they are orthogonal matrices, then their product AB, it is also an orthogonal matrix. And in the same way, B is also an orthogonal matrix. Now this second type is involutory. Now if in any square matrix A square, it is equal to I, then we say this matrix, it is an involutory matrix. Now if the matrix is involutory, then basically A is A square is I. Now if we multiply A square with A, then A cube will be A. If we multiply it with A again, it will be A square, which again is I. A to the power 5 is A to the power 6 is I. So this series will continue like that. So if we have an even power of A, it will be identity matrix. And if we have an odd power of A, it will always be A. Now this third one is idempotent matrix. Now a square matrix A is said to be idempotent if A square, it is equal to A. Now there is this one very common question which is asked in idempotent matrix, and which is if AB equals A and BA equals B, then prove that A and B are idempotent matrices. Now what we'll do is we'll take this first expression, which is AB into A. Now we'll multiply A to the right. We can write ABA equals A square. Now we know that B into A is B, and matrix multiplication is associative. So we can write this as AB, it is equal to A square. Now this AB equals A, so from here we can say this A square equals A, that is this matrix A, it is an idempotent matrix. In the same way, from the second one, if we multiply it with B, we can write BAB equals B square. Now A into B is A, so we'll get BA equals B square, and B is nothing but B. So from here we can write B equals B square. So if AB equals A and BA equals B, then A square equals A and B square equals B, which means these two matrices A and B, they are idempotent matrices. Now the fourth one is nilpotent matrix. Now a square matrix A is said to be nilpotent if A to the power K, it is a null matrix. Now this K, it is called as index of nilpotent matrix if A to the power n is 0 whenever n is greater than or equal to K, and it is non-zero when n is less than k. So k is the smallest power for which this a to the power k is 0. Then we say this k is index of nilpotent matrix. All these three, involutory, idempotent and nilpotent, these matrices, they have great application in binomial theorem expansion questions. Now this fifth one is periodic matrix. Now if there exists a least positive integer k, so it has to be least positive integer k such that a to the power k plus 1 is a, then we say this matrix A, it is periodic and is periodic with period k. Now if we take k as 1, then we write a square equals a, then it becomes an idempotent matrix, and if we multiply with a, we can write a cube will be equal to a square, which is equal to a to the power 4 will be again a square, which is again a. So in this case, a to the power n will be equal to a whenever n is greater than or equal to 2. Now if we take k as 2, we'll get this condition that a cube equals a. Now if we multiply it with a, we'll get a to the power 4 equals a square. A to the power 5 will be a cube, which again is a. So we'll keep getting these a's and a squares after an interval of 2 numbers. So this second matrix, it is periodic with the period 2. Now this sixth one is singular and non-singular matrix. A square matrix is said to be singular if determinant of A is 0. So if we find the determinant of matrix A and if it is 0, we say it is a singular matrix, and if determinant of A is non-zero, then we say it is a non-singular matrix. So for singular and non-singular, all you need to do is just find its determinant. If determinant is 0, it's singular, and if determinant is non-zero, then it is non-singular. And if the matrix is non-singular, then that matrix is invertible, which simply means that then A inverse exists. So inverse of a matrix, it will exist only for non-singular matrix. For singular matrices, A inverse, it won't exist. Now here the question is, if AB equals A and BA equals B, then we need to prove that both A and B are idempotent. Now we are given that A into B equals A. Now we multiply A from right, we'll get ABA and it will be equal to A square. Now we can write this BA as B. So there will be AB will be equal to A square. Now A into B is nothing but A. So from here we can write A equals A square, which means that this A is idempotent. Now in the same way, we can write it for B. We are given BA equals B, or we can write BAB, it is equal to B square. Now A into B is A, so there will be B into A is B square. Now BA is again B, so there will be B equals B square. So this is our first proof, that is, if AB equals A and BA equals B, then both A and B, they are idempotent. Now the second proof is, if A is idempotent, that means if A square equals A, then B is also idempotent. Now B is I minus A. Now we find B square will be I minus A square, and it will be I plus A square minus 2A. Now since A is idempotent, A square is simply A, so there will be I plus A minus 2A, which is nothing but I minus A, and I minus A is B. So we get B square equals B. That means B is also idempotent. Now we'll also need to prove that AB into BA, it is equal to 0. Now we multiply A here, we'll get AB and it'll be equal to A minus A square, and since A is idempotent, A minus A square, it is 0. So from here we can say AB equals BA, it must also be equal to 0. Now this third one is, if A and B are two matrices such that AB equals A and BA equals B, then A transpose B transpose are idempotent. Now we have already proved that if AB equals A and BA equals B, then A square equals A and B square equals B. Now for this transpose, we can write this as A transpose square, and A transpose square is A square transpose. Now A square is A, so A transpose square will be equal to A transpose. That means A transpose is idempotent. In the same way, B transpose square will be B square transpose, and there will be B transpose. That means B transpose is also idempotent. Now this is a matching question. Now the first one is if A is idempotent. Now idempotent is when A square equals A, and if A square equals A, then A to the power n equals A for any n which is greater than or equal to 1. In that case we can write I minus A to the power n will be nc0i, and then minus, we'll take minus common, nc1a minus nc2a plus nc3a. So all of them, they'll be a. Now we know that nc0 minus nc1 plus nc2 will be equal to 0. Now this expression will be nothing but 1. So we can write this as actually I minus a, and that's your option S. So this A, it matches with S. Now the next one is I minus A to the power n if A is involutory. Now we know that for involutory condition is A square equals I. Now if A square equals I, A cube is A, A4 is I. So whenever we have odd parts, it will be A, and whenever we have even parts, it will be I. So we can write this I minus A to the power n as nc0i minus nc1a plus nc2i minus nc3a. Now we can write this as nc0 plus nc2 into I and minus nc1 plus nc3 into a. Now we know that both these series, they are equal to 2 to the power of n minus 1. So it will be 2 to the power of n minus 1 and simply I minus a, and that's your option P. So this B, it matches with P. Now the next one is I minus A to the power n if A is nilpotent of index 2. Now if A is nilpotent of index 2, that means A to the power n will be 0 for any n greater than or equal to 2. Now if we write I minus A to the power n will be nc0 into I minus nc1 into A, and all other expressions, they'll be simply null matrices 0. Now this is I and then minus NA. So this C, it matches with Q. So this C, it matches with Q. And finally it says if AB, A plus I and A plus B are idempotent matrices, then AB plus BA is equal to what? Now if they are idempotent, it simply means that A square is A, B square is B, A plus I square is A plus I, and A plus B square is A plus B. Now if we simplify this, we can write A plus B into A plus B will be equal to A plus B. Now this is A square plus AB plus BA plus B square, and it will be equal to A plus B. Now A square is A and B square is B. So we'll write this as A and B, which will cancel. So we'll get AB plus BA will be this null matrix. So this D, it matches with R. So this D, it matches with R. So the correct options are S, P, Q, R. Now here the question is, if P is a 3 cross 3 matrix such that P transpose, it is equal to 2P plus I, then there exists a column matrix X non-zero such that Px equals which of the following. Now if we take transpose both sides, we can write transpose of P transpose will be equal to 2P plus I transpose. Now this is P and this is 2P transpose plus I transpose is again I. Now we can write P transpose as 2P plus I. So it will be P and there will be 4P plus 3I. We can write P plus I equals 0, or this P, it is equal to minus I. Now we multiply it with X, we can write Px equals minus X, and that's your option D. Now here the question is, let X and Y be two arbitrary non-zero skew symmetric matrices. That means X transpose is minus X and Y transpose is minus Y, and Z be a non-zero symmetric matrix. That means Z transpose, it is equal to Z. Now it says, then which of the following matrices are skew symmetric? Now if we take this first option, which is y cube z to the power 4 minus z to the power 4 y cube, its transpose will be y cube z to the power 4 transpose minus z to the power 4 y cube transpose. Now using reversal law, we can write z to the power 4 transpose y cube transpose minus y cube transpose into z to the power 4 transpose. Now transpose of z to the power n is same as nth power of z transpose. So there will be z transpose to the power 4 y transpose cube minus y transpose cube and z transpose to the power 4. Now z transpose is z and y transpose is minus y. So it will be minus z to the power 4 y cube, and here it will be plus y cube z to the power 4, which is y cube z to the power 4 minus z to the power 4 y cube. Now in this case, A transpose equals A. So this A, it is a symmetric matrix and not skew symmetric. So that means this option A, it is incorrect. Now if we look at this option B, which is x to the power 44 plus y to the power 44, its transpose will be x transpose to the power 44 plus y transpose to the power 44. Now x transpose is minus x, but we have even power. So it will be x to the power 44 plus y to the power 44. That means this matrix is also a symmetric matrix. That means this option B is also incorrect. Now if we look at this third one, then we can write x to the power 4 z cube minus z cube x to the power 4. Its transpose will be x to the power 4 z cube transpose minus z cube x to the power 4 transpose. Now using reversal law, we can write z transpose cube into x transpose to the power 4 minus x transpose to the power 4 into z transpose cube. Now z transpose is z, so there will be z cube, and x transpose is minus x. So it will be x to the power 4 minus, this is x to the power 4 and this is z cube. So it will be minus x to the power 4 z cube minus z cube x to the power 4, which is A transpose equals minus A. That means this matrix in C, it is a skew symmetric matrix. And then finally this D, so we take its transpose, x to the power 23 plus y to the power 23 transpose will be x transpose to the power 23 plus y transpose to the power 23. Now x transpose is minus x and y transpose is minus y. So there will be minus x to the power 23 plus y to the power 23. That means this option D is also a skew symmetric matrix. So the correct options are C and D. Now the question is, A and B are two symmetric matrices of order 3. Now statement 2 is AB is symmetric if matrix multiplication of A with B is commutative. Now we can write AB transpose, it is equal to B transpose into A transpose. Now since A and B, they are both symmetric, B transpose is B and A transpose is A. So AB transpose equals BA. Now if matrix multiplication is commutative, then we can write BA as AB. In that case, this AB will be a symmetric matrix. That means this statement 2 is correct. Now, if we look at this ABA, now ABA transpose will be BA transpose into A transpose, and BA transpose will be A transpose B transpose into A transpose. And since they are symmetric matrices, so it will be simply ABA. So that means this matrix, it is a symmetric matrix. In the same way, AB into A, its transpose will be A transpose into AB transpose, and there will be A transpose B transpose into A transpose, which again is ABA, and matrix multiplication is associative. So that means this matrix is also a symmetric matrix. So statement 1 is also true. But for statement 1, we never needed the statement 2. So answer is both the statements are true, but 2 is not a correct explanation of statement 1, which is your option 3. Now the question is, if alpha is pi by 5 and A is cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha and B is A plus A square plus A cube plus A4, then B is which of the following? Now, first what we'll do is we'll find A square. Now, A square is cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha into cos alpha sin alpha and minus sin alpha cos alpha. Now we multiply it, we'll get, now this is cos square alpha minus sin square alpha, and there'll be cos 2 alpha. Here will be cos alpha sin alpha plus sin alpha cos alpha. There will be sin 2 alpha. Here will be minus sin 2 alpha. And here will be again cos square alpha minus sin square alpha, which is cos 2 alpha. Now, if we find AQ will be cos 2 alpha sin 2 alpha minus sin 2 alpha cos 2 alpha into cos alpha sin alpha minus sin alpha cos alpha. Now again, if we multiply them, we'll get cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. There will be cos A plus B, which is cos 3 alpha. And here will be sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. And there will be sin 3 alpha. Now here it is minus sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. So it will be minus sin 3 alpha. And here will be cos A cos B minus sin A sin B, which again is cos 3 alpha. So from here we can say this A to the power n, it is nothing but this is A n alpha. Now if we find this B, it is A plus A square plus A cube plus A4, and there will be cos alpha plus cos 2 alpha plus cos 3 alpha plus cos 4 alpha, and here will be sin alpha plus sin 2 alpha plus sin 3 alpha plus sin 4 alpha, and here will be this minus and same expression sin alpha plus sin 2 alpha plus sin 3 alpha plus sin 4 alpha, and here again it will be cos alpha, cos 2 alpha, cos 3 alpha and cos 4 alpha. Now first we'll find sum of these two series. Now if we look at this first one, which is cos alpha plus cos 2 alpha plus cos 3 alpha plus cos 4 alpha. Now angles are in AP, and we know that sum of cosine series when angles are in AP is sine n beta by 2. Now n in this case is 4 and beta is alpha. So it will be 4 into alpha by 2 upon sine beta by 2. So there will be sine alpha by 2 into cos A, which is alpha, plus n minus 1. N minus 1 is 3 into beta by 2. So there will be 3 alpha by 2. So we'll get this as sine 2 alpha upon sine alpha by 2, and here will be cos 5 alpha by 2. And the question it says alpha is pi by 5. So this 5 alpha by 2 will be nothing but will be pi by 2, and cos pi by 2 is 0. So sum of this cosine series will be 0. And if we find sum of this sine series will be sin alpha plus sin 2 alpha plus sin 3 alpha plus sin 4 alpha. Formula, everything will be same, just that we'll have sin here. So it will be sin 2 alpha upon sin alpha by 2 into sin 5 alpha by 2, and sin pi by 2 it is 1. So it will be this sin 2 pi by 5 upon sin pi by 10. Now this is unequal to 0 and this is equal to some non-zero positive number a. So we'll get this b as this 0 0, and here will be this an minus a. Now determinant of b, it is a square, which is unequal to 0. That means this b, it is non-singular and it is a skew-symmetric matrix. So answer to this question is, it is non-singular b and it is skew-symmetric. So answer to this question should be b and c. Now the question is, if LR, MR and NR be the direction cosines of three mutually perpendicular lines referred to an orthogonal Cartesian coordinate system, then prove that L1, M1, N1, L2, M2, N2, L3, M3, N3 is an orthogonal matrix. Now suppose this matrix is A. Now we have three mutually perpendicular lines and these are direction cosines. If these are direction cosines, then we know that LR square plus MR square plus NR square will be equal to 1, and also Li into Lj plus Mi into Mj plus Ni into Nj, it is 0 since all of them they are perpendicular. Now if we multiply A with A transpose, we can write this is L1 M1 N1, this is L2 M2 N2, and this is L3 M3 N3 into, now their transpose, and there will be L1 M1 N1, L2 M2 N2, and this is L3 M3 and N3. Now we multiply them, we can write, now this is L1 square plus M1 square plus N1 square, and then here will be L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2. So there will be L1 L2 plus M1 M2 plus N1 N2. Now here will be this cyclic summation L1 L3. Now here will be this cyclic summation L2 L1. Here will be L2 square plus M2 square plus N2 square, and here will be the cyclic summation L2 L3. This is summation L3 L1. This is summation L3 L2, and here will be L3 square plus M3 square plus N3 square. Now since they are direction cosines, all of them they are 1. So all the diagonal elements they are 1, and then Li Lj plus Mi Mj plus Ni Nj, it is 0. So all these elements they'll be 0. So which means this right hand side it is an identity matrix. So from here we can say A into A transpose, and it'll be equal to A transpose into A, and it'll be equal to I, and therefore this matrix it is an orthogonal matrix. Now here the question is, we are given this matrix P which is root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2 and root 3 by 2, and this A is 1 1 0 1, and this Q is PA P dash. We need to find X, which is P dash Q to the power 2005 into P. Now what we'll do is we'll first find P into P dash. Now it'll be root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, root 3 by 2 into root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2 and root 3 by 2. Now we multiply them, we'll get 1, 0, 0 and 1. So basically P into P dash, it is I. So P is an orthogonal matrix. Now if we look at X, this X is P dash into Q to the power 2005 into P. Now Q is PAP dash to the power 2005 into P. Now we can write this as PAP dash into PAP dash 2005 times into P. Now matrix multiplication, it is associative. So P into P dash, it is I. P dash into P, it is also I. So all of them, they are I. So it'll be nothing but it'll be this A to the power 2005. So this X is nothing but A to the power 2005. Now we need to find A to the power 2005. Now this A is 1101. Now we find A square will be 1101 into 1101. Now we multiply it, it'll be this 1201. Now we multiply it with A again, we'll get A cube, which is 1201 into 1101, which is 1, 3, 0 and 1. So in the same way we can write A to the power 2005 will be 1, 2005, 0 and 1, and that's your option D. Now if A is 1201 and P is cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta and Q is P transpose A into P, then find P Q to the power 2014 PT. Now if we find P into P transpose, it'll be this cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta, and P transpose will be cos theta sin theta minus sin theta cos theta. Now this is cos square theta plus sin square theta 1. This is 0. This is 0. And this is 1. So basically P into P transpose, it is an identity matrix. Now if we find PQ to the power 2014 P transpose, it will be P and then P transpose AP, P transpose AP 2014 times P transpose AP and then P transpose. Now P into P transpose, they are all identity matrices. So it will be simply A into A 2014 times. So this expression is nothing but this is A to the power 2014. Now we need to find A to the power 2014. Now we need to find A to the power n. Now we can write this A as I plus and then this matrix which is 0, 2, 0, 0 and say this matrix is B. Now if we find B square will be 0, 2, 0, 0 into 0, 2, 0, 0. Now this is 0, 0, 0 and 0. So basically B is a nilpotent matrix of index 2. So B to the power n will be 0 whenever n is greater than or equal to 2. Now if we find A to the power n, it will be I plus B to the power n, which is nc0i plus nc1 into B, and then all of the powers they'll be null matrices. So it'll be simply I plus n into B. So we can write this A to the power n as 1001 plus n into B, and n into B is 0, 2n, 0 and 0. So it'll be this matrix 1, 2n, 0 and 1. Now we need to find A to the power 2014. So it'll be 1, 4028, 0 and 1, and that's your option B. Now the question is, how many 3x3 matrices with entries from 0, 1 and 2 are there for which sum of diagonal entries of M transpose into M is 5. Now if we take M as A1 B1 C1, A2 B2 C2 and A3 B3 C3, M transpose will be A1 A2 A3, B1 B2 B3 and C1 C2 and C3. Now if we multiply M transpose with M, then we'll get A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square, and since we are interested in sum of diagonal entries, we'll just write diagonal elements. Now the next one is second row second column. Second row second column will be B1 square plus B2 square plus B3 square, and third one is C1 square plus C2 square plus C3 square. Now trace of M transpose into M will be nothing but A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square plus B1 square plus B2 square plus B3 square plus C1 square plus C2 square plus C3 square, and it must be equal to 5. Now ABC, they can only take the value 0, 1 and 2. Now what are the possibilities of these numbers? One of the possibility is if one of them is 2, another one is 1, and then all the remaining 7, they are 0. So then we'll have 2 square plus 1, 5. And this sum, it could be 5 if we have 5 entries as 1 and then remaining 4 entries as 0. Now in how many ways we can arrange these 9 elements? It can be done in factorial 9 divided by factorial 7 ways, which is 72. And here will be factorial 9 divided by factorial 5 factorial 4. Now this is 9, 8, 7, 6 and this is 4, 3, 2, 1. Now 6 will cancel, which is 126. So if we add them, it will be 126 plus 72, and which is 198, and that's your option B. Now here the question is, consider the matrix A, which is 3, minus 4, 1, minus 1, and this B is A, 6, 0 and 1. Now let P be any orthogonal matrix. That means P into P transpose is equal to P transpose into P, and it is equal to I. And we are given that this Q is PAP transpose and this R is P transpose Q to the power K into P. Also S is PBP transpose and T is P transpose S to the power K into P. Now this first question is, if we vary K from 1 to N, then first row first column element of R will form. Now if we look at this R actually is P transpose Q to the power K into P, which is P transpose. Now Q is PAP transpose into PAP transpose, and will continue up to K times. So it will be PAP transpose into P. Now P transpose into P, it is I. So all these product, they'll be I. So it will be A into A into A, K times. So this R, it is nothing but it is kth power of A. Now A is 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1. A square will be 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1 into 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1. Now we multiply it, we'll get this as 9 minus 4, 5. Now this is minus 12 plus 4, minus 8. Now this is 3 minus 1, 2. And here it is minus 4 plus 1, which is minus 3. Now if we find A cube will be 5 minus 8, 2 minus 3 into 3 minus 4, 1 minus 1. Now we multiply them. We'll get this as 15. 15 minus 8. Now 15 minus 8 is 7. So it'll be this 7. This is minus 20 plus 8. And minus 20 plus 8 is minus 12. This is 6 minus 3 plus 3. And this is minus 8 plus 3, which is minus 5. Now, if we look at this pattern in A, then we can simply write this a to the power k. It'll be this AP 3, 5, 7, which is A plus k minus 1 into D. Now, this second element is minus 4, minus 8, minus 12. So, it'll be simply minus 4k. Now, this is 1, 2, 3. So, it'll be simply k. And here this is minus 1, minus 3, minus 5, which is minus 2k minus 1. Now, first row, first column elements, they are in AP with common difference 2. So, it'll be this AP with common difference of 2. So, this A, it matches with Q. So, this A, it matches with Q. And second row, second column. So, this second row, second column is minus 1, minus 3. Now, this is arithmetic progression with common difference of minus 2. So, this B, it matches with S. Now, similar to R, they have defined this T, and this T will be PT into S to the power K. So, it will be nothing but it will be B to the power K. Now, if we find B square will be A601 into A601. Now, it will be A square. This is 6A plus 1. Here, it will be 0. And here, it will be this 1. Now, if we find B cube will be A square 0, 6A plus 1, 1 into A0, 6, 1. Now we multiply it, we'll get A cube, and here it will be 6A square plus 6A plus 1. So it will be 6, 1 plus A square, and here it will be 0, and here it will be 1. Now if we look at first row, first column, then it is A square, A cube, which is nothing but a GP with common ratio A. So this C, it matches with P. And if we vary K from 3 to N, first row, second column. First row, second column is this 6 into 1 plus A, 6 into 1 plus A square will also represent sum of a GP with common ratio A. So this D, it also matches with P. So the correct option is QSPP. Now here the question is, let M be a 2 cross 2 symmetric matrix with integer entries. So let this M be this AB and then CC, where AB and C, they are integers. Then M is invertible if. Now we know that M is invertible if M is non-singular, that is determinant of M is unequal to 0. So basically AB minus C square, it must not be equal to 0. Now if we look at this first option, then it says the first column of M, which is AC, it is equal to transpose of second row of M. If we take transpose of second row, it will be this CB. Now here we get A equals B equals C. In that case, value of this determinant will be 0, and this M, it won't be invertible. So this option A is incorrect. Now for the second one, it says second row of M, that means CB, it is equal to transpose of first column of M. Now transpose of first column is AC. So again we'll get A equals B equals C, and again value of this determinant will be 0. So again M, it won't be invertible. Now this third one is, if M is a diagonal matrix with non-zero entries in the main diagonal. Now if C is 0 and A and B, they are non-zero, then determinant of M will be simply AB and it is unequal to 0. That means M inverse will exist. So option C is correct. And D is product of entries in the main diagonal of M, not square of an integer, which means AB, it is not equal to some K square. Now this determinant is AB minus C square. Now C square is square of an integer, and if AB is not a square of an integer, that means this determinant, it can never be 0. Then also M inverse will exist. So the correct options are C and D. Now question number 15 is the diagonal elements of square matrix M are odd integers while off diagonal are even integers. Then which of the following option is correct? So we'll take this matrix M and then diagonal elements are all odd and non-diagonal elements, they are all even. Now we'll find M minus IN, then it will be this odd and then even odd, then even odd, minus 1 0 0 0, 0 1 0 0 and then 0 0 0 1. So we'll subtract it, then odd minus 1 at all the places will be even. So this matrix will be even, even, even and even. So all the elements here, they'll be even. So from here we can say that this matrix M is congruent to IN modulo 2. Now determinant of IN is 1. So it simply means that determinant of M will be an odd number and therefore it is not equal to 0. So it simply means that this matrix M must be non-singular, and that's your option number B.